Barring an injury, Terence Steele is not losing his job to Lyle Collins.
I actually think that's true. Because last night, I think, once again, I actually thought Steele played pretty well. I think Inseki kind of got toe up.
Yeah.
But Steele, I thought, played pretty well. And they love him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They love him. They're doing the thing that I don't know if you kill him for it, where you're like, hey, I think that Lyle Collins is a better right tackle than the guy that you're using.
Sure.
But they're trying to prove a point and build something and, coachy coach stuff. So yeah, I think Terence Steele's the right tackle.
I'm going to go with. I agree with Jeff, and I got something to throw out to you. I think they're going to trade him. I'm going to take an idea from Major League Baseball and the NBA that when a player is out for mysterious reasons and the trade deadline's right there, that's my guess. That's the thing that would make it help it make the most sense to me.
Yeah, I've really dug in hard to trying to figure out things, talking to people and stuff, and there's things that happened that came to light as far as with what we learned about the testing stuff and the him talking to the collector and all that stuff. But man, it's really interesting that they've soured on him. I really do believe they've soured on him. They can talk about, well, hey, we'll work him back in and stuff like that. He was told if something happened at right tackle, he was going in, but, he hadn't played left tackle. He was a left tackle at LSU. So, but Ty Inseki or Lyle Collins, that to me is, that's the thing that kind of just makes me go, whoa, what am I doing here? But yeah, I don't think, if barring an injury, I don't think that Lyle Collins is going to get his job back. I really don't.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, unless now,
if that's
$11 million swing tackle,
well, let me ask you this, though.
the Ravens need a tackle so bad.
Well, what about this? What if you just went ahead and put him at left guard? What if you just went ahead and said, bite the, we're just going to play him at left guard, and he's going to learn there, and there's your lineup in 2022. Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Biotish, or some center. Yeah. Maybe,
Connor Williams' contract will be up if you like Collins more than you like McGovern.
Yeah.
And you could do it that way.
Yeah. At what point in the game did you think that Cooper Rush might actually pull this off?
By the time we got to the end, definitely not at halftime, but by the time it was, you were going to get a shot, right? Yeah. I guess it was more accurately, it was after the Zeke first down. That's where I'm like, okay, you're close. You're not going to force overtime. We're not going to overtime.
Right.
We just need one pass.
Yeah.
10-10. I think when Rush threw the touchdown to start the second half, and it was clear that Minnesota wasn't going to hang 30 on you.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this first half has been kind of iffy. You've had some... Actually, the weird thing is they had some decent moments. Like they drove the first time, missed the field goal.
Right.
They were driving, threw a pick. They drove, kicked a field goal. So, they looked okay. They just couldn't do enough to put the points on the board. But when they got it to 10-10 and Minnesota wasn't looking like they were going to hang up a bunch of points, I was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on the 10-10. When he made that throw, it's like all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute. I threw a ball down the middle of the field. It got intercepted. And here, I make another throw, and it ends up being a touchdown. And it just looked like he had more confidence, a lot more confidence after that throw. The balls, those guys on the outside were just not covering. Those guys could not cover those Cowboy wide receivers. And it was only up to him if they missed. I felt like man, if he makes bad throws here, that's going to be the only thing that's going to stop him from having some success. But I like what you said too, General, because I didn't want him to have to kick a field goal and go to overtime. I was like, please, just end this. I was telling Ari, sitting on that couch, I go, Ari, just end this thing now.
Yeah.
Don't let this thing get to overtime and all of a sudden it's, we're hanging on, Kirk Cousins hadn't done anything all day, and then he kind of figures it out like he did against Carolina.
We needed a miracle catch for Michael Gallup off of Breeland's basket.
Cooper.
Yeah. And then the Zeke run, right?
Yeah.
Those are two things that don't happen. They happened. So you didn't have to kick a field goal or have your drive in.
Right. All right. Your coach of the game, Kellen Moore or Dan Quinn? Coach of the game.
Golly, I'll go Kellen Moore. I don't think there's a wrong answer, but I'll go Kellen Moore because as much as we are going to like joke about it and say that it was fun, it was actually useful that they would go 5 offensive linemen and then 2 extra offensive linemen in the backfield.
Sure.
Because I think that's the sort of creativity that you can have where most people are going to think, oh, yeah, you did that and you ran the ball. Well, they did that and they threw the ball too. They were pass protecting with 2 offensive linemen fullbacks because that's how much belief they had in their 2 wide receivers to get open,
right?
And knowing that we're going to bring the Vikings into the box even more because we have 7 offensive linemen, I think Kellen Moore is fully, as they would say, in his bag. And I don't feel great about that pick because the defense did a great job too, but you got to pick one. So I picked Kellen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say the defense, they've been over 33 times. They have. The Vikings have put up points, 24 in their loss to the Bengals. That would have got you beat. It was 19 points against the Lions. So, there's only been a couple other games where they performed well under league average or their seasonal average. And you go up there, they know your offense is, struggling a little bit. I think maybe, did they go conservative? The Vikings did. Whatever the case, Dan Quinn holding them to 16 points gave you a shot. Because however you slice it and you give credit where it's due and all that, 20 points shouldn't win NFL games very often. But it allowed you to because your defense had a hell of a day.
Yeah, I kind of lean on. I think that Dan Quinn always has less weapons than Kellen Moore in these games. So I'm always really, but I think the creativity you talked about, Jeff, with the multiple, with the heavy sets and stuff like that, I was kind of thinking, oh man, this is kind of cool. But yeah, it helps you in protection and stuff like that. Maybe allows you a little bit more to be able to play with the right tackle the way he is. So, but I think Dan Quinn, I think he's done a marvelous job of taking his players and actually really putting them in positions to make plays. They were on top of all those screens, the runs, the crossing routes, anything that they had to do. They had guys in place and ready to go. So I'll give Quinn the tip of the cap for that one. Okay, give me your best reason how the Cowboys held the Vikings to 8% on third down. They were 1 of 13.
Golly.
Give me your best reason how the Cowboys held the Vikings to 8% on third down. That was 1 of 13 for the game.
I unfortunately, I don't think, I can't because I just think that it's everybody. Went over it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Like a couple of plays, it's Anthony Brown making a great hit. Anthony Brown breaking up a slant to Adam Thielen. Jordan Lewis making a stick on a dude that just caught a ball short of the sticks. Randy Gregory gets pressure while Micah Parsons is covering Dalvin Cook when they're trying to throw a screen. It was a little bit of everybody, which I guess if it's a little bit of everybody, the answer is Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Having a good idea.
Yeah.
Having people knowing where they're supposed to be and a good idea of what may be coming at you because it was everything. It was everybody.
I was kind of thinking pressure and tackling in this game. I mean, that to me, that's where I think like when there were times when the ball was thrown short and maybe a guy would have broken a tackle and got a first. That I thought they did a great job of tackling in this football game and being physical.
Micah Parsons led it. It was
exactly.
so good.
Exactly.
So good.
Exactly. All right, my last one real quick if I can. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Bigger play in the game, and I hope I'm not talking out of something that we not all on the same page here. But to me, bigger play in this game, the Harrison Smith hands to the face on Noah Brown. Remember when Noah Brown catches the ball and he fumbles at the end of the game? And then they get the hands to the face call, which wipes out that fumble.
That was hard to catch. The ref must have been looking right at that.
Yeah, okay. So Noah Brown fumbles, but Harrison Smith gets called for hands to the face on Schultz. Or Mike Zimmer using 2 timeouts back-to-back on 3rd and 16 to make it 3rd and 11. Because if you remember the play, Elliott, the next play, gets 15 yards. If it's 3rd and 16, maybe you...
I don't remember the outcome of when Brown fumbled. Would that have been Vikings ball?
It was Vikings ball. They recovered the ball. Like the fumble was caused by the linebacker and jumped on the ball as well.
That's a turnover play. It's got to be bigger. Even though, Mike Zimmer's was. That was hilarious. He literally said, I forgot I'd already called one.
Yeah. The back-to-back timeouts actually gave you 5 extra yards, less yards that you had to get. And Zeke was able to get 15 on the play.
I think if Zeke would have known the first down marker was 5 yards beyond, he would have got that too.
He would have got that too?
Yeah, I'll go with the turnover negated.
I kind of think like the turnover negated too. I mean, that was really Barr makes the tackle, recovers the ball. So yeah, you're in a situation where that could have been just devastating for the Cowboys driving in for those points.
You got fortunate late, but after the bad calls going against them on the previous drive, it was just like, well, thank you for evening this up a little bit. Holy cow.
Yeah.